The health benefits of fasting. So this is basically just a brief introduction. I don't think you can make it out completely. Just who thinks, can anyone name a couple of health benefits that can rattle off from the top of their head for the sisters?
So detox of the body.
Detox of the body we've got here. Anything else?
Lose weight.
Lose weight, yeah. So weight loss is the number one thing that most people say, especially non-Muslims as well. They assume it's like a slim fast month or something like that. But this study, just to illustrate, and I think it's something that we're probably all aware of, is that it's not as straightforward as that. You know, people don't just shed loads of weight during Ramadan. This study was done in Pakistan, in Lahore, amongst diabetics, and it showed that actually more than a third of people put on weight during Ramadan, and only 1 in 8 people lose weight during Ramadan. And the rate of weight gain is actually higher amongst women. There is a lot of evidence growing now that short periods of fasting, if done properly, you can achieve a lot of benefits, such as helping lose weight and regulating the weight. And this has become more of a trend now amongst the Western world. It's been proven to improve cholesterol regulation in the body. Has a bit to do with the detoxing that you mentioned. Blood pressure control has been shown to be lowered, I think about 10 units over time. Blood glucose control in the majority of people. Not only that, it helps control addictions, things like smoking, self-control, and also mental and spiritual well-being. It's been proven as one of the main ways of, even I think in the Muslim community, helping people focus mentally. So these are the main health benefits that we can think of. There are probably a few more. The main take-home message is that it can be good for your health, but only if it's done correctly. So we've seen that over a third of people do gain weight. Not everyone will lower their cholesterol, lower their blood pressure, lower their blood sugar, and there's obvious reasons for this. I think the number one reason in our community, and especially in the South Asian community and the Middle Eastern community, is that we probably eat the wrong food and we eat it far too much. So I just want to get you guys to a little bit understand how the body works during fasting, because I think if you have a greater awareness of this, it may help you just put things into perspective. I'm aware that we're probably a few days now into Ramadan, so you may have already gone through this phase. The first couple of days is usually what people find the hardest, especially if they don't really practice intermittent fasting throughout the year. This is known as the adjustment phase. So the first couple of days, people often feel a lot of headaches, a bit irritable, very, very hungry, especially in the middle of the day, and some weakness. It can be quite a difficult phase for people who are used to coffee and caffeine and things like that. Some of the withdrawal symptoms they can experience. So it's just mindful to be aware of anyone around you if they're acting particularly irritable or moody. It could be a biological thing, and that's just them getting used to the cycle of fasting. Stage 2, which we're probably moving into now, is when the detox begins. So the body has now started adjusting and changing the way it not only digests but breaks down energy stores in the body. So we've moved away from using stored glucose and sugars, and now we're starting to break down fats. We notice a lot more bad breath, and something probably not talked about as much as constipation, which is quite common at this stage. That's just the digestive system adjusting to the different levels of water and food in the stomach, but this should start easing towards the end of the week. I'll come on to water intake later on. And when we say detox, it's not only we're talking about fats and things like that in the body. It's also talking about the immune system. So especially in the lungs, we know that there are a lot of antioxidants and detoxification taking place to help clear out some of the toxins in the lungs and the liver. Stage 3, which will start around next week, it varies from individual to individual, but we know that around the second week of Ramadan, you reach your optimum healing state. So people are usually at their strongest in terms of their immune system. Physically, they're into the fasting state now, the body is used to it. Now around stage 4, which is around half of Ramadan, which in some people can come earlier if they're used to the fasting regimen and method, is where people reach their peak performance. And subhanAllah, this could be just our way of getting ready for the last 10 nights or the main sort of rewarding times of Ramadan. But studies have shown that this is actually the optimum mental state as well, not only the physical state. So it's expected that your body will now be physically adjusted. I think most people realise that once they're a couple of weeks in, it feels routine. But the brain can utilise something called ketones just as well as it uses blood glucose and other products. So it's been shown that people can focus a lot better at this stage of Ramadan. A lot of people say that after Fajr, sunrise time until the morning is their kind of main bulk of the sleep, and if they can come home and sleep from after work for a couple of hours, that gives them enough. Around 5 to 6 hours as a minimum throughout the day would be a recommended amount. Anything less than that, if not used to it, can have problems, throughout prolonged fasting. This is just to illustrate that most of our plates should actually be from things like vegetables and so on, as opposed to mostly from meat. The meat section is only like an eighth of the plate. There's a lot of blessings in suhoor, and not only from the hadith and the barakah side of things, but also it does help your body avoid going into a really prolonged fasting state every day. The main thing I wanted to illustrate, it doesn't have to be a massive meal. You don't have to sort of anticipate your body just needing loads of fuel for the whole day, because your body will adjust naturally. So just eat a normal wholesome meal, whether it's a bowl of porridge and a couple of glasses of water, things like that, slow digesting foods, high in fibre. It doesn't have to be a big mountain of rice and curry.
Is it true that if you eat quite a bit at Siri, that you'll consume that energy quite quickly because of the
Exactly.
breaking it down?
Yeah. Hydration is important. So yeah, as I said, just keep sipping water throughout the evening, throughout the night. This is a good example. So we kind of mentioned this. This is brother Saeed. So he returns from Tarawih around, this isn't the short Tarawih, but at 12:30. He has sips of water every 4 o'clock. So always take a bottle of water with you to the masjid, because it's quite hot as well in most places. Comes back, has a light snack, fruit and nuts, 1 o'clock. You're able to focus then. You're not sort of overloaded with carbohydrates. Now it depends on what degree angle you're following for Sahri time. This is an example of the majority, I think, in Birmingham who pray Fajr around 3:30. But yeah, towards the last third of the night, you want to be able to be focused. You want to be able to feel light enough to make your dua and pray properly. Wholesome suhoor. He has muesli, a couple of glasses of water. Prays Fajr in Jama'at. You're not so sleepy after having his big meal that he feels like to go straight to bed. These things all have an impact on you. And he's able to sleep well at sunrise. He hasn't got indigestion. This is just a bad example. So come back half asleep from Tarawih, he's still bloated from the iftar. He couldn't drink water or focus, so then he sleeps until 2 in the morning. Wakes up very tired, he's got a dry mouth because he didn't have any water throughout the night. So he just gulps 2 bottles of water. And then that means, when you drink loads of water at once, your stomach just can't stomach a whole meal. He prays Fajr, he's still half asleep, and then at 12 o'clock, like he said, he's already hungry. And he's quite angry as well. So let's move on to iftar quickly. I'm a bit mindful of the time. So the Prophet Peace be upon him used to break his fast by just a few fresh dates and some water, and then going straight into the prayer. I think sometimes we fall into this trap of seeing the prize and just trying to gulp down as much as we can before Maghrib time. That's very important not to do that. And there's a very good reason for that. It's because the stomach and the digestive hormones and enzymes actually take a while to warm up. So if you give a massive load onto your stomach when it's not actually ready to digest it, it will have quite a few effects throughout the rest of the evening. So a few dates just to get the juices flowing, get your stomach ready for a proper meal is much better.